Hey guys, I'm here. I'm talking to Ryan. Ryan is phenomenal.
Thank you so much. That's so sweet.
So Ryan and I, we're talking about mental health and just the opportunity to move forward, move some obstacles out the way, and move ahead.
Absolutely.
And basically what I did was, I'm kind of nosy, right? I heard Ryan talking to his friend, and he was talking about therapists and mental health and etc. And that's a hot topic today. Mental health therapists and just self-awareness and getting ahead.
Absolutely.
So I was going to ask you, Ryan, can you tell us a little bit about your journey from 12 to 23 and why self-awareness and mental health are so key?
Yeah, I think I was on an IEP all through elementary school, middle school, high school, and it was
What is the IEP?
IEP, oh my gosh. Individual Educational Practice, isn't it?
Plan.
And I was on one of those for so long, and it made me feel like, oh, I'm not the same as the other kids, or oh, I have to leave the room to take a test. But it was all about setting me up for how I'm going to be able to transfer the things that I was learning in school that weren't for my type of brain and bring it into the real world. I went to college, it didn't go off too well, but I went to college.
You went?
And I was on a scholarship, and I don't think any of that would have been accomplishable if I hadn't had so many therapists, had an IEP, talked about things that I was struggling with. Because if I kept it all bottled up, I don't think I ever would have even graduated high school.
Wow. So when you say so many therapists, do you mean therapists after therapists?
No, I actually was very fortunate to have my therapist the first therapist I ever got, I had all the way up until I was about 20. She passed away.
Sorry.
It's okay. She was wonderful, and now I'm with a CBT therapist, which is cognitive behavioral, and I think that it's just opened up my eyes to, it's not just sitting down on the couch and talking about your problems. It's putting plans in place and working on not just bettering yourself, because I know I was good before I started therapy.
That's what I'm saying, Ryan.
But
make it plain.
But just treating myself better. And through therapy and IEPs and just talking with people and having candid conversations about mental health, it has made my life and the life of people around me a lot better. So
right.
Yeah.
So I just want to ask you, when you're talking about making a plan, did you have plans before you started working with the therapist?
I did, but they were kind of unrealistic. They're not unrealistic, but just not exactly what I know that my type of brain and the type of person that I am was going to be able to accomplish the same way my peers were.
In the time frame that you wanted to accomplish.
Absolutely.
Right.
So I was going to college for theater, which is a little risky because it's in the arts and you don't always have a guarantee. But I realized that through the fact that I had all this help in elementary, middle, and high school, I was ready to work with all these crazy theatrical people, and that I knew that my mental health was a priority, even if facility and the faculty wasn't agreeing. It was just a whole lot of self medication, I guess, just telling myself I can do this.
Self-awareness.
Self-awareness. I've done this before. Even though I didn't graduate college, I still continue to do theater in the area, so it's it's all worked out. For the most part.
So working with therapists helped you to find your pathway.
Absolutely. And I think seeking therapy it can be scary for a lot of people. A lot of people are like, well, I don't want them to get in my head. They're not going to get into your head. They're going to let you get into your own head, and you can figure out something with somebody who's trained to do it. Somebody who has their degree in this. So it's I think seeking therapy is so important.
Let me ask something. So one of the big things right now, I worked with NCAA. They were doing with the huge mental health crises that was going on, especially COVID, and they were talking about peer support and how peer support has really changed things around. What they were saying is that, the students were calling the coaches at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, because the highest time for suicide is usually, I think it's 11 a.m. or 12 a.m. to 4 a.m., something like that.
Yeah.
It's right. And so what they were saying is because the depression rate is right after school, those school hours. So because the suicidal ideations kick in that late, the therapists, the coaches, they have their own home life, their parents, etc.
Kids and all that, yeah.
Right. Or husband or whatever.
Of course.
And so basically what they did was they tried to find other pathways, and one of the other pathways was peer support. Has peer support or anything like that ever been incorporated in your mental health
honestly,
advancement?
No, but I think that the peer support is something that really should be incorporated into more mental health fields and just fields in general where there are young people. I think being go see a therapist, it's not really an option for everybody. So it's I don't know. I think if you have a trusted adult or a trusted person in your life that you can speak to, it can only help. As long as the person that you're speaking to is not even equipped, but aware of the severity or the inseverity of what you're going to say. Because you also don't want to stress your friends out by like throwing all this stuff at them and then be like, I don't know what to do. Because I'm in a situation that I'm like, I don't know what to do with one of my friends, but I know that all I can do is be there and guide them in a way that I think they can get the most help.
Right. So being with someone who's agile.
Absolutely.
And not like stuck in tradition or
Absolutely.
or
Yeah, I
routine
think
stuff, 'cause
2023, almost 2024, like traditions are change, and they're gonna have to change soon because the suicide rate is still going up. People are still mentally ill. Nothing's changed, so it's like change will come, but we have to be acknowledging each other.
1 in 3 adolescent girls have suicidal ideation right now. And I was reading a report which was the 2022 numbers that came in. You know, they come in a year later, 2023. There's a 80 as far as fourth grade at a fourth grade proficiency level. 80 to 84% of Latinos, American Indians, and African Americans are in between 80 and 84% of not being proficient in fourth grade reading. It was right around 59-60% Caucasian and right around 40% for Asian. So when you think about this, if people are not able to read at that type of level, and
how are they supposed to get help?
And what do we do in school?
Yeah,
we give them books.
we give them books.
We give them books that say read.
Yep.
So the question is, are there more ways or alternative ways to teach kids so that they can obtain, retain, and apply the information?
Absolutely. I'm a visual learner. I mean, I'm a visual and audio learner. Like, I hated reading books in school because I was like, I have ADHD. I couldn't pay attention to anything and sit in the classroom quiet. But like, don't underestimate the power of like different types of teaching. Like, just because your curriculum's set up a certain way, if you see somebody struggling, it should be in your job description to be like, oh, they're not learning the way that everybody else is learning. And I think it's just taking the steps of, if you're going to become a teacher, you should also become somebody who can be compassionate to all types of brain chemistry, all types of sexual orientation, gender, race, everything, because not everybody learns the same. And shoving a book in front of somebody who doesn't know how to read isn't going to help them like learn.
Right.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
That makes a lot of sense. Not everybody learns the same, like
Absolutely.
retains information, but also not everybody expresses themselves the
Absolutely.
same way. So if I'm communicating to you, if I'm communicating in English and you speak Spanish,
It's not going to help.
we've reached an impasse.
There you go.
Right. If I'm communicating to you with my body language and you are looking for my tone, there could be some
miscommunication.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So bridging the gap. Ryan is phenomenal. I kept trying to shift the camera to make sure it was on him because he is just off the chain good and off the chain kind to share these words of wisdom with you guys. Hey, please take note that there's more opportunities, more pathways out there. Find the pathway that is best suited for you. And just FYI, shameless plug, my book helps people do that.
Yes.
My book helps people do that. For it is tangible. It is really and truly about self-awareness, communication, and also goal setting. So, Ryan, you are phenomenal.
Can I give you a hug?
Oh, of course, Ryan.
Thank you, love.
And-
I
and-
wish you the best.
And Ryan,
really
I use my deodorant today, so you're good.
Ooh, it smells great. It smells great.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. Take care.
Thank you.